What is up? My name is Dominic. I help coaches, consultants to get more clients with ads and text messages. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how to install the IG funnel in your business. Like if you were to implement it in your business, how it will work. And I will give you a case study about one of my clients, how we made it work in his business, and what's the cost, what's the challenges, and what's the advantages also of doing this funnel instead of another one. So I'm going to share my screen with you just to show you how it works. Here we go. So that's the funnel. So of course, what we want to do is to use ads and send people to your Instagram profile and not a website. And we're using ads because ads is much faster than organic. Now the threshold to get a viral video or get just like leads from your organic content is very high. It's going to take a long time. So if you really want to have a better life, I suggest you use ads. It's much faster than any other way, or cold DM also. It's pretty slow. I don't want to do that. So what you want to do is to send people to your Instagram profile and not a website, because you want to gain new followers, and also because you don't want to get like stuck with email sequence and web pages and opt-in pages. All that is super complex. We don't want to deal with that. So we want to send people only to your Instagram profile, and basically Instagram is your funnel. You don't need nothing else. It's much faster. And I'm going to show you a little bit how you can do that with your business by showing you how we did that with one of my customer, which is a luxury driver coach. And I'm going to share with you how it costs, the challenges and advantages. Well, let's just start with the advantages. I think I put that here. Yes. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's lower friction because you don't use email, so you don't have to have multiple software to start this funnel. So you can start tomorrow if you would want to, because as long as you have an Instagram funnel, an Instagram profile, and some content, you could start tomorrow. You don't have to deal with emails. It's a lower friction ask. You ask them to follow you instead of asking them for their email, so it's much better. It's lower cost because you don't send them to external platform or website, and Instagram doesn't like that, so they like people to stay on the platform. So if you send them to your profile, they're going to reward you with like a low cost of acquisition, so it's also beneficial for that. And the last thing is also because they're going to follow you, and that's considered a lead. You can see their profile, you can see who they follow, their interests, their posts. So you get to have a sense of the lead quality much more easily as if it's just an email address. If you run the other funnel, very hard to assess if you have a good quality leads. But in this case, you can see immediately if they are good leads or bad leads with like all the information that their Instagram profile is giving you. So those are the main advantages of why you want to do Instagram funnel as opposed to a VSL or an email sequence. Now, the cost usually is like, for this example, for my luxury driver, he was spending $25 per day, and that's just to start in terms of the ads. And with that, if you're in a B2C space like he was, B2B is a little bit more expensive, but B2C is going to cost you about like $1 to $4 a follow. So a follow is a lead for you. So that's the cost, and you don't increase that amount until you refine your funnel, you're making some sales, and you know that your ads and the rest of the funnel is working. So if you look here, you run the ads, spend $25 per day, and then you're supposed to get new followers that are qualified. And once you receive them, you want to start a conversation with them in the DMs to see if they're a good fit for you. Like you want to ask what problem they have, what's their number one concern. If they don't reply, or they're just like not qualified, then you know that your ads is probably the problem. So you spend $25 per day, and for him, he was receiving like maybe 15 to 20 leads per day, sometimes 25, it depends, but followers per day, in which each and every one you want to start a new conversation in the DM. So for him, it was something like if you're a driver, sick of small routes or not making money. So usually you're trying to do a hook that will get your people attention. And in this case, this was something similar like that. Then you say, if you're tired of like driving a Prius, this was his industry, of course. I'm trying to remember the script. If you're tired of driving a Prius, having small routes, and wants to multiply your earning. So you're trying to describe as precisely as possible their situation, and because you want to talk to their heart and soul. And if you're not doing that with the ads, you're not going to get quality leads in your funnel. So that part is super important, and that's something I work on with my clients. So you need to really nail down the hook and nail down the pre-qualification in the ads. So once you do that, you're going to say, if this is you, give me a follow and I will show you how to do. Now you can what is it? Basically, you're explaining what's the value of following your account. And it's supposed to be a good value. Like in this case, it was like showing you how to multiply your earning as a driver, how to get longer routes, how to get better clients that pays you good money. So that's what you have to show and speak about in your ads, in your script. So this is what we did. And in this case, on the first ad, it was working. Like sometimes it will take like a couple ads to refine your hook, especially if you don't know exactly who's your target audience. It might take more than one ad, but in this case, he knew exactly who they were. And he was sending me his script like a few times, and we made some changes. And a few ads that he launched, he was receiving like 15 to 20 followers per day, which is pretty good. So once you get followers, you want to start a conversation with them. So the way you're going to do it is, let's say you have a new follower. You're going to say, hi, name, thanks for the follow. Are you a driver yourself? If you're in the fitness industry, it's going to be something about like, are you currently working on your fitness right now? You're trying to ask a question that could be answered by a yes or no. That's very easy to respond before you ask the more deeper question after. So if you say yes, then you can pre-qualify him with what's your number one concern or challenge driving right now. Basically, you're trying to get them to open up and tell you what is it that they have problem with. And for you, you're trying to assess if those people are qualified and you can help them. Because if they're not qualified, you're going to say, welcome aboard, and you share with them your free resources, your free content. That's going to be it. Maybe they're going to be qualified at a later stage and you're going to follow up with them. But for now, they're not qualified. You don't want to spend too much time trying to convince them, because you're not going to be able to do, because they're not the right fit. If you're receiving too much of those, like non-qualified people, then again, you know that your ad is not optimized yet. You probably need to have a better hook or maybe a better pre-qualification script. So you're trying to very narrow down who you can help and who's supposed to follow you and who's supposed to be repelled by your ad. So that's very key. So once you talk with them and they are qualified, so they're telling you that yes, they have a challenge right now that you could help them solve, and you're trying to pitch for the phone call. So you're trying to ask them to lean in. So the way you're going to do it is, cool, is this something you want me to help you with? Something like that. You ask them if they need help. If they say no, I'm good by myself, then you can just ask more questions. If they say yes, you said, What about we jump on a quick phone call so I can show you how to do XYZ, right? So that's the ask, and usually if they're qualified, they're gonna say, yeah, sure. And now you send them your Calendly link, and they're gonna book a time with you. And the goal after that is to follow up, to continue the conversation, because you don't want them to not show up. You want to continue the interaction. And before you jump on a call, what I like to do is you send them your VSL. So you're supposed to have some long form content explaining what you do and what's the benefit. I highly suggest you to do that, because this is how you're going to nurture people. It's good that you're sending people to your Instagram funnel, your Instagram profile, and you have some content there, but you really want to show them some long form content, because this is what's going to nurture them. This is what is going to make them love you, trust you, and follow you also. So very important. So what I used to do is, or what I still do, I would say, is send them your VSL, my VSL, before I jump on a call with them, so that they have a better idea of what I can do for them, what's the process, what's the funnel I'm going to show them. And it's very helpful, because it kind of pre-sell them before we jump on a call. So send them your VSL, and after that it's the phone call. And on the phone call, this is where you close them. You make them enroll in your program, and you explain them how it's going to work. So that's the cost. So you start with $25 per day. It's not that expensive, and usually you're trying to solve every part of the funnel. And so the challenges is, like I mentioned, it could be the ad. Sometimes you have to do a few ads before it works, before you can get like those people following you that are qualified. Sometimes it's the DM convo, so the DM setting. So I think I made a list right here. Yeah, I made a list. So the ads is the first one. The DM setting is the second challenge you can have. So like I show you here, you need to be good at talking with them on the DMs, asking good question, good relevant question. And you have to move the conversation forward as much as possible. You're trying to be a doctor. If you're too long in the DMs, people get like bored and they're just wondering why you're asking them question, and they stop responding. So you have to be to the point and very helpful. They have to feel that, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, and if I answer his question, he's going to give me a tips or two, and then this could lead somewhere. So that's the goal you have to do. Some people, they have some people, it's the first time that they're doing that. So that's normal. We have to work on it. So there's a process, a framework you can follow. Some people is the content itself. Like people follow you, but your content, your story is not enticing enough to show them the benefit of your program or what is it you have to offer. So sometimes we have to work on that. And I would say this is it's the biggest lever when you scale. At first, you just need a minimum amount of content, but when you scale, this is what have the biggest impact, I would say, because now you start talking about what's the common objection for people to like jump in your program or not, or just to like be better at their business, to make more money. What's their most common challenges? And this is in those videos that you're going to talk about that and convince them that you can help them solve that. So that would be the challenge number 3. And the last one is the phone call. Of course, you need to be good at selling on the phone call. And if you do a good job, you're going to get qualified people that knows you, that follows you. So once you get on the phone call, they're already pre-sold to what you have to offer. So if you're doing a great job, it's not going to be that hard to sell them on the phone call. But for some people, it's more difficult. Some people, again, it's the first time. So what I recommend is to you need to record your phone call and to analyze them to see where you're dropping the ball, or where you see that you're losing them, or where you could be more clear about your offer. And that is also something sometimes we have to work about. So that's basically it. That's the most also the biggest challenge you will encounter with this funnel. But regardless, it is the fastest way to get clients for your business. Content is what you need to convert people, to nurture people, and that is only what it is. Instagram and YouTube long form content is how you're going to nurture them and buy from you. And instead of like relying on landing pages, copywriting, email sequence, opening rates, conversion rates, and all that stuff, this is much more simple, much more fast. And this is how I get most of the result with my client. And this is why I get such good reviews. So if you need any help with that funnel, if you need me to show you how this could work for you, just send me a DMs on Instagram or reply in the comments below or book a call with me, and let's get it going. So I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.